So what else killed the Wicked Witch of the West? If you remember from my previous video, I talked about how she had used up all her tissue resilience, and that's when she came to her final end. So the whole thing of this is death by 1,000 cuts. I try not to sound negative, but that idea explains it pretty well, that a number of things happening over time becomes the perfect storm. And what else was the Wicked Witch of the West not doing that I told her to do? She wasn't getting adjusted. She wasn't getting chiropractic care. Let's talk about that more in a second, but welcome. I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic. And this is Brain Snob, episode 23. Everyone should be a brain snob. Being a brain snob is not an insult. It is a high compliment, meaning you know how the brain works, so you can really harness your brain for amazing experiences. Your brain makes your body and you make your life. We can see how different health concerns or health issues translate into the needs of the brain. And that's the BFA protocol. Brain first, always. It is the master system, so let's start at the top. When you come into the office, you will get your copy of the BFA template and the BFA map for the healing journey. Now back to the Wicked Witch of the West, who is no longer, because Dorothy tossed that bucket of water on her and she just disintegrated, gone, 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 because the Wicked Witch of the West was not doing important things to protect her brain. And one of them is getting adjusted, being on a maintenance routine of chiropractic care. That is part of moving your brain. There are 3 parts: move your brain, feed your brain, and talk to your brain. We get adjusted as part of moving the brain. She came once to see me. She said she landed her broom wrong. So I went through her history and talked with her at length about the purpose of chiropractic care and how we want the brain to take care of the body, and we focus on brain health, and that chiropractic adjustment is how I contact the brain through the spinal joints of the spinal column. That's my access point. I gave her an adjustment. She was not happy. She looked at me and says, "Well, that wasn't right." I said, "Look," I said, "the adjustment is not going to energize dead tissue." And I'll tell you what, she was mad at me. She totally ignored everything I said. And she just went on her way with her, current state of health not doing so well because she wasn't listening to my explanation. Maybe I didn't explain it well. I don't know. She was suffering from so much stress. The frontal cortex of her brain was being deprived of oxygen. That witch was so obsessed with Dorothy and wanting her ruby slippers, she was just nonstop and couldn't stop talking about it. So much I couldn't even get a word in edgewise, trying to help her and explain to her what chiropractic care is for and how we can help the brain. She was just a one-track mind. I want to get that girl. I want to get her. I want to get that. Anyway, so she's now gone because she wouldn't take my advice. Her executive functioning was just gone because, like I said, that prefrontal cortex was kind of shrunken down. It wasn't active. Her limbic system was in charge because she had so much anger and just negative emotion, raising her insulin, raising her cortisol. And when your limbic system takes charge, your vital functions just don't work as well. The vagus nerve, it shuts right down. The vagus nerve controls your rest and digest and healing. And that was not working for her. Now, let's translate this to real human beings. I often say in the office, the adjustment cannot energize dead tissue. How does that relate to you? Well, dead people don't come into the office. I don't adjust dead people and bring them back to life. But that Wicked Witch of the West was, I would call her the walking dead. She was that unhealthy. The adjustment is designed to send the life-sustaining energies from the brain to the rest of the body. If your tissues are not resilient enough and they are not receptive to receiving this nerve energy, they cannot respond. They will not heal. They will not change. And what causes that? The burden of inflammation, the burden of mitochondrial damage. And so I say we can't energize dead tissue. Some of your body may already be dead. I try not to be negative. I always land on the more positive footing near the end of the video because I will offer solutions. But if there is irreparable damage, irreversible damage, that is a fact of life. And things do not respond to healing messages if they're unable to. If you have enough tissue damage in your body, there will not be a response. I don't want to get to that point. The Wicked Witch did not want to listen to me. I'm sorry about that. And things just went downhill from there for her. And, you know, she just wanted to land her broom better. And that's not my focus. And I told her that. I said, you fly your broom any way you want, but I want to take care of your brain. I see so much potential in people. When they get adjusted, they do feel good. They feel a sense of relief. They feel a renewed sense of relaxation. And that relaxation should spur on more healing. However, stress exists every day. It's like the weather. We just don't know how much. It's different day by day. And we get back to the hustle and bustle of life. So the adjustment is good for a while, but the tissue damage kind of, here goes that signal, and it stops. It stops because it's disrupted by inflammation. That is not going to give you adequate healing. My goal is adequate healing. And for some people, it takes a while. We need patience. Time and repetition are the golden words in order to achieve better results. So the potential is there. I see a lot of people who do well. They reach a point and they kind of plateau, and they feel like that's as far as their body is willing to take them. And that may be so. Their body has reached a point, but I also see that there is more opportunity to add to that process. We can boost the adjustment by following the BFA protocol. We can add more stress-relieving practices to our body in order to get a more boosted, doubly charged chiropractic adjustment. So the chiropractic adjustment is only as good as the tissues receiving the energy, and only as good as the brain. We have to get the brain functioning better. That way the brain will take care of you better. I will say the chiropractic adjustment cannot energize dead tissue. Let's not get to that point. Let's stay in the healing phase and always focus on our daily needs to keep the brain healthy. We need to treat our brain like it's a little baby. I mean, the brain is very sophisticated. It's amazing what it does, but we should give it tender, loving care like a baby every day. We do not let a baby be alone in the house. We don't go shopping and just leave the baby in the crib and attend to it later. That baby is cared for 24 hours a day, and that's the way we should treat our brain. So maybe I sound a little bit silly, but it's important. Brain care is the baseline of everything else in your life. Your mental health, your physical health, your personal success, so you have enough energy to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Go back to my second or third video and I talk about the health survey and what most people in my office are concerned about. And that is their independence and their future health so that they can be there for their families and their loved ones. These goals are important. That means the brain is important. So let's dive into a better future with a better brain and learn how to move, feed, and talk to your brain. How do we do that? We visit the office. Go to my blog and read that. It's called createpurpose.com. Watch the orientation video. Start a conversation in the comments section below and hit that like button if you really liked it. Hit the subscribe button, and always, last but not least, hit that notification bell so you know when a new video is released. And I'm working on one. It's in the back of my brain. I've got one under construction. Become a brain snob so you can become that positive ripple effect in your community. Thanks for watching.